Hello, I am Enid Elliott, an early childhood educator who does research and teaches at Camosun College in the Early Childhood Education program. I am speaking from Lekwungen and West Saanich territory, where the land has been cared for, honored, and loved for thousands of years. And each day I try to be mindful of my gratitude for being on this land and the ancestors who've been caretakers for so long. I have been interested in outdoor programs for young children for some time now. Through my involvement and research with the Nature Kindergarten in the Sauk School District, I have seen the power and benefit of the living, breathing world for the well-being and learning of young children. Programs for young children that operate outdoors have existed in Europe and elsewhere for over 40 years now. And while we do have some outdoor early childhood programs in BC, only a few of them are licensed. Last December, while chatting with Dr. Stanwyck, our Chief Medical Health Officer, I mentioned the physical, mental, emotional benefits of being outside in natural environments, and he was in complete agreement. I mentioned that outdoor programs were hard to encourage in BC as they could not be licensed unless there was a building that met a set of standards. And this meant that only some children could access these programs. I shared with him that Washington State had started to seriously look at how to license a program without necessarily licensing a building. He was interested and introduced me to Dr. Shelley McClure, who is here with me.
Thank you, Enid. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm on the traditional and unceded territory of the Coast Salish people, the traditional territories of the Sunamo First Nation. So I'm the regional manager of the Community Care Facility Licensing Program in Island Health. And I've been in the field of human care licensing for over 21 years, as well as being an early childhood educator for as long. And I care deeply about creating environments that enable all children to grow and develop. I also believe in ensuring that all children have access to licensed childcare, as we know one facet of quality is licensing. So we have been concerned about the lack of regulations governing existing outdoor programs, as there are more and more outdoor nature schools and early learning environments that cannot be licensed due to the definition under the Community Care and Assisted Living Act. And this is of some concern because obviously we want to provide assurance to families that there is some oversight and that minimal standards are in fact being met. We also know that by licensing these outdoor nature schools, families have the ability to access subsidy and receive support for children with diverse abilities. Additionally, facility operators have the ability to access grants through the Ministry for Children and Family Development. So earlier on in the year, we had the privilege of planning a small conference with the relevant government people to think together about how to make the necessary changes.
But the pandemic happened and the conference was canceled because of course, attention was elsewhere. But now we are several months into living with this virus and pandemic, and we know that being outside is a good place to be. And so this plan, we think, becomes even more important. How to license the outdoor programs which parents are beginning to call for, and how do we encourage all programs to spend more time outside?
Absolutely. I mean, we can see the urgency and we feel that the time is now to visit this issue and to think about licensing outdoor programs and creating opportunity for more conversations that will benefit children being outside and that these facilities of course, are licensed. Because what we're seeing is that parents want their children outdoors because they feel it's safe, particularly with this pandemic. And educators and parents are realizing that being outdoors promotes confidence, empathy, learning, as well as self-regulation. It's really a win-win.
All children really deserve access to these programs. And if licensed, then families can access subsidies. And if licensable, more programs will be created. And if licensing is involved, we have assurance that minimum standards are met. How can we make this happen and move it forward? Thank you.